Hey guys, welcome to the Newscast episode of Behind the Table. Coach Ray, the Nitrous. And we are, what is it? Today is Tuesday, so we're 3 days away after King of Table 12. We want to thank everyone who was with us from start to beginning. This almost felt like a number 13 because of how many different things went wrong.
You need to stop saying that. You need to stop saying that because we've got a great number 13 coming up. Shut up,
No,
Ray.
but
Don't
listen,
don't
we got
don't
all the 13
pre-jinx.
shit
Don't
already done. We got all of it done.
don't
Like
say
nothing could.
that. Do not one must not tempt fate. Okay?
That is
But
true. You
do
don't
not
make.
poke at the universe.
Yeah,
Um
don't poke the universe.
yeah, and so thank you to everyone who joined. Thank you to the thousands of people who watched the live show. Thanks to the other thousands of people who watched the post event show and uh thanks for still being with us, and we're still here, rising from the ashes like a phoenix. Well, more like a dead pigeon, but rather than a phoenix. But we're we're still we're still here, and we're still moving ahead. I don't know, Ray. Do we do we want do we want the fans to know what happened? Like, it's not one thing, right? It's like
No, it was. Listen, it was already a week before, so we lost one of the biggest matches, right? Alex Kudech versus Artur Morozo. So we had
that's
to
where it
make that
started.
change. That's where it
That's
starts.
where it started.
Yes, that's where it starts.
Couple of missed flights. Then we had to change the venue last minute, just
Yeah.
fine. Had to change the venue of the press conference. That's fine. By the way, what you're about to hear, fans, happened all within the space of 72 hours? Yeah, 72 hours. Um, but let's just focus on the day of.
Hmm.
Okay, where do we start? Um, it's funny now. Well, maybe it's not funny yet, but let's just see if we can put a positive comedic spin to this. Um, Unfortunately, one of the graphics operators who was driving to the venue got hit by a car. So he's fine, but he's in intensive care. So the replacement guy they sent showed up with a panic attack and having heart palpitations. So he had to lay down and had to calm him down. So the third guy, complete newbie, um, internet and signal issues, which we had to fix very quickly within 2 hours. Um, the audio, again, we have a solution for this, fans. So before unleashing your anger, the audio this time, ironically, was patched like the whole. I don't want to get too technical, but essentially, it wasn't routed the way we would have wanted it to be, and it was hooked up to a mixer that was probably, I think, a mix. It was made of. I'm pretty sure it had bits of a fax machine in it, right? And and maybe some firewood, some coal. Um, the audio engineer who was supposed to be fixing that or operating that decided 2 hours before the show to go completely AWOL, and 3 days later he still cannot be found. Doesn't answer his phone. We don't know where he is. So we had to have somebody new go in, work with the lapel mics. The lapel mics were weak, and every time we raised the volume, the commentator volume would go way up or just vanish completely. I mean, it was just absolute chaos. And I could go on and on, but there's some things that maybe we should some of the things we should keep internally. But let's just look at it this way. Murphy is out there somewhere telling people about Don's law,
Yeah.
or like everything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Mhm.
So, but nobody's blaming anyone. It's our fault. It's our responsibility to take into account these things in a much better way in the future. Um, we're looking at systems where we're going to have the same. I know it's going to cost more money, but we're going to have the same audio technician flying with us everywhere possible, wherever we do a show. We're going to. I mean, there's some things that need to become a standard.
Standard. Yeah.
Audio being one of them. we're just bear with us a few weeks. We're looking at investing in our own lapel microphones, at least. Like there's some things that we need to have consistently, regardless of where the show is,
Hmm.
so that we minimize
Hmm.
any kind of not any, but at least minimize most of the errors that happen. And yeah, I know audio is one of them. Video disappearing here and there is kind of forgivable, but as a fan, what would really piss me off, and I'm with you guys on this, is if there's glitches in the audio. That's not good. So we hear you about the audio issues, and we're working on fixing those. So thank you for not crucifying us completely and giving us another chance. And and yeah, I mean, so that's is I mean, I'm sure there's more, but is there anything else? That the pre-show didn't go as we had planned because the
Tournament went in
tournament,
a little bit too deep. A little
yeah,
bit
it
too
went
deep.
a little bit longer
Yeah,
than what was
we
expected.
we we really wanted the format to be way different. We wanted to be like us a little bit talking and then giving you matches, then giving you some of the athletes, and give you another match.
Mm.
Sadly, we just didn't have time, and but you still. I hope you enjoyed Ucha versus Slava. That was a really good match there. Like I really liked that match, and the guys were fighting till the end, and there was something. Post match, post event show also
Hang on
was.
about the Ucha
Yep.
match. I don't know
Yep.
if it was just me, but it felt like it went on for a week.
It was a long match, very long
It
match.
was a long
Yeah.
one, but also I think it's important for the fans to know that we didn't actually do the full hour of the show because
Yeah.
we had to cut it short because all these unknowns, all these problems I just mentioned were
Yeah.
identified. And I just ran to you and Jake and I'm like, guys, we can't we need a 15 to 20 minute break to try and fix this before the paid event starts. So
Yeah.
is there I know it's not ideal. I know you're gonna hate me, but can we just cut it short so we can fix as much as we can before we go live? So that was another unfortunate thing. Because we were supposed to have two matches,
Yeah.
but between the issues and having to cut it short and the Uta match went, oh,
Yeah.
wasn't it supposed to be best of three? Who told that to me? And I wrote it as best of three, but it turned out to be
I
best
don't
of
know.
five.
I changed it to best of five because I thought most likely if it's best of three, it will end too soon. Look,
Mm,
that was the most competitive match of the card, right? And so I think with the prelims, if you tune in for prelims, maybe it didn't look like KOTT because it was still running the tournament and things like that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it
yeah.
was a great match, and I really hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't saw it, if you didn't see it, go back on a pre-show that's available on YouTube now and just watch it there on Courseport's channel, on this channel. Um,
And I think we need to communicate better to the fans a little bit about the prelims next time, because a lot of the people who were watching, I think the online comments were, "Is this what the pay-per-view is going to look like?" So there
yeah,
was that little bit of confusion, and
yeah.
so
But it
again,
was
something we
it
need to
was
fix.
Diba's setup because it was still the tournament, and this was their tournament, and we're kind of working in partnership with them. So yeah, the
They
people
did a
tune in.
great job, by the way. They did a great job. I mean, because ever since they announced, not ever since they announced, when they announced and the change of venue and all that, had like I think there were 60 entries, and the entries went up to like 130.
Yeah, it
You,
was
Christo, everybody's
multiple.
like, fuck King of the
Yeah,
Table. I'm going to go compete at Debate. I'm like, guys,
yeah.
hello, we've got work to do here. I couldn't get anything done by you because you were like, competing. I'm competing. I'm like, thanks. I guess nobody wants to be here. Everybody wants to go compete at the Debate Classic. So that
We're
was
armored.
great.
It's like what you expect from us? You know, we
Yeah,
see a
yeah, no,
table, we get itchy.
let alone
So
three tables that were there.
three tables, yeah. But
No, it was
like,
good. It was good. It was
guys,
great. Great
if you,
fun.
if you were there, you most likely saw what happened and how we dealt with situations. And because that was hour before the event, and still a lot of arm wrestling to go. So Don managed to get another table, put Cristo on the table, started refereeing. We try to mix it all up, make it as fast as possible, and like really, it's very we were in so many tough. It wasn't just one thing that went wrong. It was so many different things just kept going and kept going. But I hope you enjoyed something from the pre-show. I hope you watched the event. If you want to watch it, rewatch it now because, like we said, only the highlights is going to be on YouTube. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But if you want to watch the full event, it's in better quality and stitched together and shouldn't have any problems now right there on Core Sports page. Uh, Post
The
show,
audio, the audio issues, there was no way to fix them.
yeah, we can't
Let
fix
me
that.
be clear, but it's just better put together. And I think, yeah, I think it should be, it should be up. Like a different version of it should be up soon. Um,
Mhm.
there's a lot of stuff that we noticed. To if anyone watched the before the King of the Table, excuse me, Jesus,
Hey,
um,
don't get sick now, okay?
this is not sick. This is just all breathing all the dust and anyway. Um, we told the fans that only full matches are going to be on YouTube. On the pay per view. We're still sticking to that, but we also promised that we're not going to take away the YouTube experience if somebody wants to watch the highlights. So we're
Mhm.
working on a format now that should be available in the next week to maybe a little bit longer, depends. But there's a lot of stuff that's on the pay per view that the YouTube fans never get to see, which is the
Yes,
pre the pre walkout interviews, like
yes.
the cinematography. I'm going to call it cinematography, the great stuff that our media team does. And so we're going to prepare pieces of all the matches, and you will also enjoy the YouTube experience. Is
I
what
think so too. So most of the time, the pre-match interview doesn't go out because it's tied in with a call out and walkout, which has copyright infringement most of the time on YouTube. So just not to post that, just not to do that. Uh, we're gonna put highlights together with the pre-match interview, and like Devon's and Leonidas, it was really great. Like I watched it, and you get immersive experience in it. So I hope you will enjoy that.
can
Post
we put
match,
that though? Can we put their like this is the problem, right? There, most of the walkouts were so epic, but
I
we just can't put them like and ruin we if we put not copyrighted music on top of it or we
no,
silence
we're
it,
gonna ruin it. We're gonna
it's
ruin
just
it.
gonna ruin it. I mean, like Leonidas coming out to Rammstein and that the lighting and the shadow, he looked
Yeah.
like a absolute monster of a man, right?
No, that those walkouts were amazing, and I think
So
maybe we f everything with the copyrights and just give fans the experience they need. And
so
that
they
was
shut
like
down our channel, really?
no, they will not shut down. We will just not get any revenue. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
If are you sure? Because
No, it's
our
I'm sure.
channel,
I'm sure.
you're guaranteeing this, right? I'll come after you
Yeah, you can put it. We can put it on my channel. I love the views.
um okay. So what else?
Post show. I think post show implementation we did it a little differently, but I really like how we did it. Then we get athletes, I get Don, talked about some things, and so it's we had to go up there and
Quick,
just
a,
tell you what's happening.
a
Yeah,
quick and instant apology. 'Cause
yeah,
I just felt so bad. I'm like, do you know, next, I hope there isn't a next time like this, but if there is a next time, I really, really vote for an entire filming of the entire day behind the scenes. We could put
mm,
that on pay per view. I bet you everybody would watch that. Oh my God, what a day. What a day. Um, I would at this point like to ask the fans to let us know in the comment section what they thought of the
yeah.
prelims, the post show, because these are new elements that we're
Taking
incorporating.
account the things that we couldn't do because we tell you the
Yeah.
things we wanted to do, right?
Mhm.
Then what do you think would be a improvement experience and some
Mhm.
things like also on Instagram straight away the match ends and we posted the winner card like
That's
who's
another new
winner.
thing. That's another
Yeah,
new thing we started to do. Absolutely. So tell us what you think about that, because look, we're not delusional. We know the results are going to be out there immediately. It's just we thought that it would be better if you guys hear it from us because it's not a secret, right?
no,
And
no,
anybody who wants to pay for the pay per view and watch the full match, we're not we're not saying, oh, if you only pay for the pay per view, you'll know who the winner is. That news is going to come out anyway. So we thought,
yeah,
why not make a nice graphic and put out maybe not the results, but just put out who the winner is, um, to enhance the fan experience. Let us know what you think about that, and just be honest, guys. But Please be gentle. we we know a lot of things went wrong, so just thank you for
Yeah.
bearing with us. Okay.
And now we have to move on. Okay, first, before we get to the next king of the table, we have East versus West,
Oh yeah.
November 2nd. That's with an absolutely amazing card, amazing matches. It's just going to be a beast of an event. So that's happening first, but these are more news about King of the Table. So Brian Shaw and Eddie Hall was announced. Can you get a little bit more in that match, because you set that match up as much as I know.
Oh, boy. So I've had a long relationship with both Eddie and with Brian because we've worked together before. I think we've worked together. The first time was with Eddie, it was 2017. Brian, it was 2018. So it's been quite some time when we did Strongman and World's Ultimate Strongman. Um, and they know each other very well. The whole world knows Brian is getting into arm wrestling. And so the thing with Brian is, in every sport he's ever competed in, Brian doesn't do, hey, let's have a go.
He
He
doesn't half-ass
he
anything,
he
right?
doesn't have it in him. First of
Yeah.
all, he's insanely competitive. Like he enters something, whatever it may be, he enters to win. And he's so like, if you watch that man prepping for whether it's a yoke carry or a farmer's walk, and I'm sure he's applied the same to arm wrestling, he's so methodical, like every little detail, Mr. Attention to detail. And he's just does his little mathematical calculations based on, like, he's not half-assing something from a courage point of view is different, but doesn't half-ass anything. Like he literally we had to make adjustments in certain equipment because the geometry and the physics about his height and his weight just didn't match the kit that we had. He's that guy. And you just sit there and you watch in awe, like, how, like, this is beyond an athlete. This is a super athlete. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the moment I knew about it, like, a few months ago or a year ago, when I heard that he's getting into arm wrestling, I'm like, oh, here we go. This is somebody that's going to come in, and he's gonna be, like, a couple of years. He's gonna be a problem for everybody. I can guarantee you that. Okay, and then, but Eddie's been wanting to have a go, and Eddie's been talking about training with Neil Pickup, and Eddie's another one. He may joke around, and, like, he's a proper wind up merchant when it comes to the oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Think Devin Larratt times 10, right?
Yeah.
So that's Eddie, but he doesn't fuck around with when it comes to competition. See, when the boxing match with him and Thor, no matter what happened, if that was 20 rounds, they would have gone 20 rounds. They just don't have the quit button in them at all. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
putting two people like that on an arm wrestling table, I would like to show arm wrestling to the fans from Strongman who are not necessarily arm wrestling fans. Both those guys have a wider mass public appeal. So it's just basically more eyes on the sport via the medium of crossover sports. That was the plan. And then, so Brian went out and made a video. Even the announcement or confirmation video, even there, he couldn't stop himself from throwing a little poke at Eddie because everybody kind of feels that Eddie has no chance. So Brian's like, all right, well, I plan to get into the arm wrestling world sport as a career. And I've agreed and picked a sacrificial lamb, which is Eddie Hall. Right? And the back and forth has already begun. Pure, and there's morbid curiosity where you'd want to watch this, but then there's pure entertainment value as well. Those two together, if you go back and watch any of their videos, their dynamic is just brilliant, and they can hate on each other when they want to. And, like, when it comes to competition time, there's none of this high fiving and no. It gets pretty harsh. So we're really, really looking forward to that one. December 14th is the date. More details to be confirmed soon, but that will be our last King of the Table of the year. Um, yeah, it's gonna be great. We're slowly putting together, like, a great card. Some of the matches are already on the license, which is available to buy
Yeah,
now. And
yeah.
pretty soon we'll have the venue tickets announcement. We're going to be doing VIP packages. We're going to be doing in-person tickets because we are not. Um, well, more details to come. We'll update everybody when we have.
It's, am I right if to say this will be probably the biggest King of Table show we have done in
Yeah,
many areas?
yeah. I can safely say that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
We're
USA, be
lit- we're
ready, be
we're
ready.
we're going all out.
Yeah, perfect, perfect.
Yeah. So
So we're gonna get all the guys also on podcasts as soon as possible. We're gonna get Eddie and Brian and much more. So all of those you will see right here on the channel. This was a little newscast just to sum up everything in about 20 minutes. Tell you what happened. We want to hear
look
your
at this.
thoughts.
Look at it this way. I mean, we're the 1st of October today,
Mhm.
and still there's so much arm wrestling left before Christmas, right? There's so much. I mean, that November 2nd, East versus West 15, it's just
15.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That card is
Yeah,
ridiculous. It's insane.
yeah.
And then we have us coming in towards the end, probably 10 days prior to Christmas Eve. I mean, isn't it a great time for arm wrestling?
I think so. This is probably, like I said, this is best time for arm wrestling. This is our golden
Like
age.
this year has been like it's been good. I mean, you tell me, as a
Yes,
coach, an arm
yes.
wrestler, as a fan, as a content creator, you probably creaming yourself all year.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I go from event to event, taking like, is this my career? Craziness. So, um, listen, guys, we really appreciate all your support. In good and bad times. It's mostly in the bad times. That's when we really feel it. But the plan is to come back harder, stronger, and give you something good at the end of the year. So you can go to 2025 with a full, with big smile on your face and think of the future of the sport. Yeah.
We're gonna keep leveling up.
Yeah. Okay.
All
Okay.
right,
Done.
guys.
Coach Ray.
Thank you very much. Thanks to the fans. Thanks to everybody who watched, and thanks to everybody who's continuing to purchase. You can see that live, and stay strong and love arm wrestling. Was that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I'm
Perfect.
so
Perfect.
stealing that from you. All right.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you soon.
I'll see
Have
you
a good
soon.
one.